Today we are at Ganondagan State Historic Site, and I am sitting at the Iroquois White Corn Project located in Victor, New York. My name is Angel Jimerson, and I am the production manager here at the White Corn Project. Today we're doing a sorting bee, which we have the community gathered, and they're all working together to help sort through our corn so that we're ready to start production. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the sorting process to show you what everyone's kind of doing today. So here I'm taking, this is raw corn before it's processed. So we're going to sort it through, and we are removing any kind of mold, any of the chipped pieces, and anything that looks like it will mold during the process. And this sorting process actually doesn't just end here. Even after the processing, we continue sorting it. You know, just trying to get out any of the mold. And any of these chip pieces, as they are still edible and usable, we take them out so that it doesn't get stuck in our drains and our machinery. So after picking all of this out, I'm gonna flip through each kernel again and keep doing this just to make sure I'm not missing a whole bunch. It is very easy to miss kernels. But after it's all sorted, all these pieces I'm taking out will not be thrown in the garbage. It is not useless. It is not bad corn. It is just uniquely flawed, or has the unique characteristics, and each individual kernel is so beautifully different, and it's important to continue to appreciate these differences and acknowledge that they are not ugly and they are not bad. They are not garbage. So this pile of compost corn, that's what we call it, compost, it's pretty self-explanatory. We're going to be using it for compost. It is then going to become fertilizer, and it's just going to be this beautiful nutrient-rich soil that's going to help us grow our gardens. So nothing goes to waste. We do all that we can for each little kernel, and we practice the good mind here when we're not just the sorting process, but throughout the entire process. We practice the good mind, and it's the appreciation of all the energies around us and sharing these good energies with each other. And my interpretation of that is all living things have energy, and even each single kernel of corn has its own energy. So when we're working with it, we're actually sharing our own energy. So we keep good conversation, and we try to laugh with each other and share information, and just try to keep conversation that has us feeling light and fluffy. And the goal is to share that energy not just with each other, but with each kernel of corn that will then be shared with whoever will have it on their table and be consuming it. So this here, the corn that we're processing and working with, is an heirloom corn. This is an heirloom white corn. And the difference between this and your commercial sweet yellow corn is that this is not genetically modified. It is very rich in nutrients. It is a slow processing food, and it is low glycemic. It has a low glycemic index. So I always explain what's important about having a slow processing food is that you can have a fast processing food that's also rich in nutrients, but because it's going through your body so quickly, your body doesn't have the time to take in all that nutrients. And your body, the first thing it's going to absorb is the sugar. Whereas this corn has a low glycemic index and it's processing slowly, so it's not going to absorb a whole lot of sugar, and it has all the time in the world to take in all the nutrients that it has to offer. So in order for this corn to become digestible for the human body, there's a hard hull on it that needs to be removed. And traditionally what was used was hardwood ashes to soften the hull, and then using a traditional corn washing basket, they would scrub the hulls off. Now, here in this facility, we use a culinary lime that actually dissolves the hull right off, but we still use a corn washing basket that's similar to a strainer. And we use that to rinse it out and to make sure that the pH level is, the proper level for human consumption. Throughout the entire process, we will be sorting it, picking out the mold, making sure it is at the proper, food grade to be, selling to the public.
So tell me a little bit about what we're looking for in terms of what we are selecting out and what we want to do to make sure that this is adequate and up to standards for resale.
So we have a little chart here. What we are looking to take out, this one's a little outdated, but I like to keep it around as a guide. Everything on the bottom we actually remove for compost. Anything that's too small, anything that has mold in it, and the cracked ones. Chipped, broken. These ones are cracked ones that are going to be chipped and broken throughout the process. So again, for the small ones and the chips and the cracks, that is mainly to protect our machinery and our drains from getting clogged up by these. And then the mold is taken out for compost for health reasons. So on the top we actually have, this one says good corn, but we actually don't follow, we don't label corn as good because that indicates that there is corn that's bad, and that's just not true. But that's the only reason why I say this is outdated. But we have, the kernels we're looking for hulled corn, which is good for, soups, stews, salads, chilies. And then we have the black eyes, which there is no health risk to eating the corn with the black eyes on them. We will pick them out later on mainly for cosmetic reasons, and same with the red corn and the yellow kernels. We do not compost these, but instead we will sort them out and use them for flour, because once they're ground up you don't see these unique characteristics and you're still getting all the nutrition from them. They're still being used. So this here's the raw corn. This is what it looks like before it's sorted, before it's processed. And we have 3 different products. It goes from this raw corn through 2 different processes. We have a roasted and our hulled. So here's our hulled white corn used. It's good in soups, stews, salads, chilies. And then we have a white corn flour. Both of these go through the same process. The white corn flour is just sorted out, sorting out those black eyes and the discolored kernels. And the corn is gluten-free, so it's good for gluten-free baking. But it's just a good substitute for all-purpose flour. although you still need to find that sticking agent since there is no gluten. The other product we have, which I don't have a bag here right now, but we have a roasted corn flour, and the difference between the two flours is it has a nuttier smell and flavor to it, and the processes we use are different. For these two products, we actually boil on the stove in a culinary lime solution to remove that hull, and from there we have to rinse it out, check the pH level, and put it in the dehydrator. It'll go in the dehydrator at 160 degrees for about 17 to 23 hours. Every lot is different, so we always have to experiment when we get new corn in, just to get to know that group of corn. So the numbers always change, but after that we will sort it and then package it either for hulled or put it through the grinder and then package it for the white corn flour. Now the roasted corn flour goes through a commercial coffee roaster that's been converted so that it's not burning the corn, but it does burn the hull off at a good 250 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. It'll spin around in the drum inside the commercial coffee roaster for about 30 minutes, and then it has to go through a cooling, like a 10-minute cooling process, and then we're able to put it into the grinder to turn it into a flour. And that process takes a lot less time, but it has a different smell and flavor. So it's not really something you're looking for if you're looking for that traditional flavor. So this corn is an heirloom corn, and this specific one was one of the main staples for our people when they were living on this land here. It is very important to us to be protecting the seed. Now, for the White Corn Project here at Ganundigan, we focus more on education than we do production. So we do still process, but we use it as a tool to educate people on this corn, and the goal is to incorporate it back into our people's diets, because it has a very long, labor-intensive process before it can become edible. A lot of people have stopped eating it and stopped processing it. So that's our goal, was to take that process out, to get it back into people's diets and teach people just all the benefits of having this in your diet, and also how to process it, so that once it's in people's diets, they would want to learn how to process it themselves. Now, we do the teaching for our own people, and we do not hand out seeds to just anyone. We only hand out the seeds back into our own communities. It is very important to keep this seed non-GMO. We do not want it genetically modified, and because this is our original seed. This is one of our original foods, and we find ourselves very protective of that. So we do focus more on the educational aspect, and sharing it with our people. So again, we will not give out seed. We will answer questions that anyone has, and if we have enough corn in stock, we will sell it. You can order online. We have worked really hard in the past 10 years to educate people, and I believe in just the past 5 years, we've really gotten the word out there, and our own communities of the Confederacy have started building their own projects for their communities. So we're really starting to see our dreams come true, and people incorporating the corn in their diets more, and now our own people are starting to process their own corn. So that was our goal. and it is amazing to be able to watch it happen. So again, my name is Angel Jimerson. I am the production manager here at the White Corn Project, located at Canandaigua State Historic Site in Victor, New York. If you're looking for us, have any questions, you can find us at canandaigua.org, and we would love to have you over for any questions that you have or anything you want to learn. We're welcoming you. So, yeah.
Ganehio.